Happening in this pandemic that very few people are even talking about. This is typically flu season, but somehow influenza seems to have disappeared and they don't know why. And KIRO 7's Gary Horker joins us now. A doctor tells you, Gary, what is happening is historic and it actually needs to be studied.
Yeah, he's excited about this. This is some bright news in a dark time. You remember when doctors warned about something? They coined a phrase called a twindemic. They were concerned people this time of year could be infected with coronavirus and influenza at the same time. Well, not only did that not happen, Monique, he tells me there are fewer recorded influenza cases this season than at any time in recorded history. Some doctors say it's because we're all used to wearing a mask and we're staying away from other people. But others theorize it's because so many of us are getting flu shots this year. But any way you cut it, doctors say there are virtually no flu cases at all this season, which they call one of the great mysterious vanishing acts of a virus doctors have ever seen.
Somehow we decided to shoo the flu. I don't know that we did it on purpose. I'm not sure we can take credit for it. It's one of the great mysteries of public health and epidemiology is where is the influenza?
Last flu season, the CDC said there were 38 million flu cases in the United States, 405,000 people were hospitalized, and 22,000 people died. In the last several months in Washington state, there have been 0 documented deaths because of the flu.
It's not just a Puget Sound thing, that's not just Washington state, it's the entire country. In fact, it's most of our planet.
Dr. Paul Pottinger, who studies infectious disease, partially credits the flu shots. As of Christmas Day, 192.3 million doses of flu vaccine had been given to people in the United States, and that's the most ever delivered. Between this time last year and March, flu cases were very high and even raging in some places around our state. And then quite suddenly, around March 20th, when we were all locked down for the first time, those high flu numbers dropped straight down to nearly 0, and they just stayed that way. People stopped getting sick with the flu from then until now.
There has never, in recorded history in the United States, been a year like this. Since we have been tracking influenza and pneumonia type illnesses, there's never been a year like this.
Now, like a lot of frontline workers, Dr. Pottinger has been spending all of his time not with the flu, but trying to save people's lives from COVID-19, which, oh, by the way, statistically has killed 10 times more people, I'm told, than the number of people killed by influenza in a single year. But he says this, when the smoke clears from the pandemic, is a great opportunity to pinpoint why this is happening, to try and replicate these influenza numbers long after the pandemic is over. And we're live outside of Overlake in Bellevue tonight. I'm Gary Horker, KIRO 7 News.